Stay indoors, stick with your bubble, take daily exercise. Jamil and Halima, they like to be out of the house, running around, biking with the mates in front of the house. It's not the same thing kicking a football around with me in the living room. So I started to take them out, just to the park across the road. Hold my hand tight, don't let go yet, Jamil. Halima, take my hand please. Let's cross the road. Is there a car coming? No? Come on then. An hour each day just to get some fresh air, a break from Zoom work meetings, phonics and feeding constantly. The swings aren't there anymore. Someone came and took them in the first lockdown. It's just great to be out though. The sky is bright. There's a lady in a purple coat walking a dog just near the youth centre. There's a couple power walking just near the pitch. My kids are chasing each other around, screaming, laughing. Jamil has found an empty water bottle on the floor. Halima wants it too. I'm watching them flipping it over and over, yelling every time it falls flat. I'm so busy watching them, I don't hear the footsteps coming up behind me. Just feel a yank. My head snapping back. Hair being pulled hard. The pain is searing. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest bone, my eyes watering. I can't even hear my kids. I just see that the sky's blue and there's this man in a black puffer jacket stood over me, dragging me down. He's got his fist wrapped tightly around the end of my scarf, yanking it, and then he's got both his hands on me, trying to rip it off my head. The safety pin catches on my neck. I can feel it digging into my skin. I can hear screaming. The blood rushes to my head so loud. It's me, screaming, swearing at him to let go. My hands scrape the ground as I fall, palms burning. He's just stood there, laughing. Can't even hear him. I can just see his mouth moving, his face red, contorted, angry, so angry. He spits on the ground just right near me. He walks back, arms gesturing. My breath catches in my throat. I freeze. I think he's gonna kick me. But he shouts at the top of his voice, "If you're gonna live in this country, get that rag off your head." He asks, "Have I got it? Do I understand?" Just like that, walks off. The woman in the purple coat has reached the gate. The couple, power walking, sat on the bench in the distance. Halima, in a little coat, has got a hat in her hands. She stood in the distance, crying, watching her mum on the floor. Can't move. Jamil comes running over to me. His cheeks bright red, bottom lip trembling. He asks if I'm okay. He asks why that bad man hit me. Halima, mouth wide open, howling. She walks over to me, puts her arm round me, tears sticking her hair to her cheeks. "Get up, mummy. Hold my hand. Hold it tight. Get up. We don't want to play anymore," Jamil says and starts to cry. They don't want to go to the park again. They've stopped wanting to play out. They're happy just kicking a ball around the living room, every so often coming to sit on my lap. "You stay here," they say. Here, at least they know the mum is safe. 5,906 steps so far. Another 3 rounds and I'm done. So glad the park's not busy today. It's a good way for me to keep fit. A couple of kids across the park are out with their mum. I can hear them laughing from here. A young boy and girl chasing each other on the grass. That couple power walking around the track come here like clockwork. I've seen them a few times, running or briskly walking. I definitely don't want to do that. The only time I've walked that fast is if I'm being chased. A slow walk is fine for me. I actually didn't realise how much I needed this. Just taking a break and stepping out makes all the difference. Getting some deep breaths of fresh air into my lungs helps clear my mind. All day, every day, working in front of my screen, it's hard to stay in tune with my piece. Staying on top of social media, networking, life admin, podcasts. It's non-stop, but I can handle it. What really gets to me is the abuse. I'll never get my head around how nasty some people can be. I don't just mean sending you a curt email nasty, or telling you they've disagreed with what you've said nasty. We can agree to disagree. I'm talking about the downright toxic vitriol. Things they'd never say if they were in front of you. Stuff they think they can get away with sat cowardly behind a screen, and it's like something has happened to them that they can't deal with, and they want to take that hate out on people they don't even know. It's not okay. It's not okay that women are abused every 30 seconds on Twitter alone. I think about that when I walk around this 10-minute track. How many women by the time I get from that tree to that gate will get racist, sexist, misogynistic abuse in that time? It's tiring to face the facts of what I already know. That if I, as a black woman, speak out, tweet something, express my God-given right to an opinion, I'll be 84 times more likely to be mentioned in an abusive tweet. It shouldn't be this toxic to occupy space on the internet. How is that okay? It takes its toll. I want to say it doesn't bother me. I want to say it doesn't faze me at all, but I'd be lying. It's vicious, damaging, and it does hurt. It affects my mental health and it's tiring. I know in my heart I won't let the trolls with their burner accounts hiding behind screens like cowards silence me. I know in my heart I won't let that happen because, like Lord said, your silence will not protect you. But my heart also needs this. To step away from it all, come for a walk in the park, take a breather, and try and finish my 10,000 steps.
Lynn's my girlfriend. We've been together for about, I should know this, shouldn't I? A year now? We met before the first lockdown and then moved in together in between. And she's been on at me for ages to start training my knee. I usually did playing football. She was like, of course you can do some non-weight bearing exercise. It's not going to, damage your knee. And I thought I know best. I said it's too much stress. And she kept on insisting it'll strengthen it. Eventually, I give in, and we made a routine every Sunday just do a power walk around the pitch. Something to do during the lockdown, isn't it? And of course, she was right. She always is. But she's a lot fitter than I am. So I always say, just go ahead. Don't wait for me. Don't let me slow you down, love. So when it happened, I didn't see it, to be honest. I just saw Lynn shoot off down the track, and I just thought she wanted to sprint that day.
Nathan's a bit oblivious sometimes to what's going on around him. We've been power walking together a lot lately, and usually the park's mostly quiet. So it's just him and me arguing, talking, having a laugh together. He's all right when he realises that he doesn't know everything. He's actually learnt to listen more and notices now the ways we might be treated differently if we're out together. People would blatantly ignore me and speak directly to him as if I'm some sort of submissive woman unable to speak up. Or him being shown to a table at a restaurant and me being told to stay in the queue without realizing we're actually together. And sometimes it's subtle. You have to question, did that just happen? We move differently in the world, and he's realizing that difference. That he has a privilege, which means he'll never fully understand how racism affects me, but he's trying to see beyond himself. He didn't get it at first. It took a lot of talking it out. I've grown up with racism my whole life and won't stand for it. That's why it angered me so much when I realised what had happened to that young mum in the park.
It was only when I saw Lynn go over to this woman on the ground that I knew something had happened. The woman was in shock, her hands were shaking as she tried to calm her little girl down in her lap. And her son, just a young lad, kept crying, saying he wanted her to take them home. Really hurt my heart, to be honest. They'd just come out to play in the park, and now they're traumatised watching their mum be attacked for no reason. Just minding her business, and someone comes along and thinks it's okay to wrench off her scarf, scream in her face and pull her to the ground. It's just cowards. That's what they are. It's like the cowards who were driving by and thought it'd be funny to scream hateful abuse at Lynn.
She couldn't speak. Not at first. I couldn't get close to her, but reached out and tried to comfort her anyway. I understood the shock, the hands shaking, the red face, the numbness, the denial. Did that just happen? And then the anger. The anger rising from the pit of your stomach mixed with shame. How dare someone think it's okay to abuse and attack you like that? I gave her my unopened water. Didn't realise when I brought it out with me that it would go to a woman called Khadija who was wondering why she'd just been attacked for simply being who she is. When it happened to me, the car incident, the one that had my heart pounding in my chest, we reported it. Nathan made sure I did. I advised the mum to do the same. I told her how and what would happen once she did. Stayed with her till her kids were calm. Exchanged numbers so I could check she was okay afterwards. We stay in touch. We talk around what happened as it's too soon for her. When things like this happen, and they do, over and over again, it isn't enough to be a non-racist. We've got to be anti-racist, because otherwise, what kind of world will these kids grow up in?